Hello and welcome back to another video, and today, as you can see, we are on Superbike 22 once again, and today we are doing a bit of a last to first challenge here at Catalunya as Iker Lecuona. Now the reason why I've decided to do this rider and track combination is because obviously we've got the Catalan SBK Round coming up this weekend, and I thought, let's use a Spanish rider, but I thought everyone was going to use Bautista, so I'll use Lecuona on the Honda. This could actually be a good opportunity for him to get a good result here, to be honest, in real life, because he knows this track from his Grand Prix days, and the Honda's actually gone pretty well here in the past. Bautista, I think, put it on the podium in the Superpole race last year, so it is a bike that seems to work somewhat around here. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this race is going to pan out, because I'm still not that great at this game yet, to be completely honest. I'm still struggling against AI. I've still got them on 100%, so a lot of our passes may come on the straight, but we'll just have to see. I've got myself a 50% race, so should be plenty of time. So let's get this one started then, and hopefully it'll be a good race. So here we are then, waiting for the lights to go out here at Catalunya. Lights out and away we go. We've had a pretty good start off the line, past Koenig and Haslam already. Got a bit of slipstream off Nazane. You've got to watch out for the braking zone down towards turn 1, because it's easy to get sucked in here, especially on this game with the brakes not being so good. Everyone's been struggling a lot on the brakes. We go into turn 1. We've picked off a few then. There's a few riders a bit wide. Oh, we had a bit of contact with the other Honda, the MIE Honda there. I wasn't expecting Siren to take that line, so we've actually lost a few positions there. Then Nazani's back in front of the Siren, unfortunately staying on the bike, but I was trying to get the cutback because everyone got a bit deep into turn 1. I was trying to then swoop around the outside, but unfortunately I've hit Siren, but we've now passed Nazani then. So we're up into 20th position. Siren up next. We're a bit wide. Kota might come back up the inside. In fact, especially I'm sliding like that, he's definitely going to come back up the inside. So once again, back behind Nazani, but we should be able to get him into turn 5. The AI all going so defensive through this corner. It's so bizarre. Actually been forced a bit wide by Nazani. We've now got him on the traction, on the exit. Right behind Siren. We're going around the outside of Hafish Siren. We've managed to pull it off. So unfortunately, this AI is still a little bit slow on these short straights. Now as well, I'm sort of using this this experiment sort of to test myself against AI. Now, if you remember back to the career mode episode a few days ago, I struggled a lot against 100% AI, so we're now using them again just to see how I actually get on. But around the outside of Ertl, as I'm saying that, trying to go around the outside of Lavity as well. Fortunately not been able to do that, and Ertl's back up the inside. You just cannot turn through this turn 10. It's been the same for the last few milestone games, so hopefully they can try and fix that in the future. There seems to be some restriction on the maximum turning, and those corners seem to exceed it. Lavity loses position to Ertl, so Lavity struggling on this first lap. We're a little bit wide for Europa car, but fortunately we've not been overtaken. Into the last corner again. I'm struggling to sort of turn it in. The bike really wants to understeer through these couple of corners. Here we are then, bit of power mode 3. Look at this on the straight though. This is where you gain all the time on the AI on this game. It is ridiculous. Apparently it's like this on the higher difficulties as well, but I never really tested it in a race particularly against them because I was just so far off them in qualifying, and through the first couple of corners when I tested it, I turned them straight down because I'd done like half an hour testing and all that stuff, and I just couldn't get near them. But it seems like they're actually just really on the straights in all of the difficulty levels, which is just a bit ridiculous, to be honest. We've got the inside of Ertl. We've finally overtaken Ertl again about half a lap later. We got past Myas at the same time. So now up to 16th, so we're almost in the points on lap 2. But Myas, once again, back up the inside. And I think Ertl's there as well, so we're being passed by both of these riders here. So we're back down to 18th place all of a sudden, once again, just as we thought we were going to get into the points. That's just how it is sometimes, isn't it, with this? But here we are then, we're going to get a little bit of a run around the outside while we've just passed them both around the outside. We're going to go around the outside of Mercado as well, and I think Tamburini, not quite getting past Tamburini there. Going on the curb, that's a risky thing to do on Superbike 22. We're actually up into the points now, so we actually passed 3 riders around the outside into turn 8 there, or turn 7. I'm not exactly sure whether that little kink counts as turn 8. Probably should just pay attention to the corner names in the bottom left. I mean, so far the difficulty doesn't seem completely off. Obviously, we've had a good start. We've passed a lot of riders, but you'd expect that because a lot of these guys are sort of the lower tier bikes, lower tier sort of teams, and we're on the HRC bike, so we should really be pretty quick. So Top Rack does a 42.8. What am I going to do? As we go flying past Tamburini, we've flown past Locatelli and a BMW and the other BMW as well. So just past, I think, was it 4 riders on that straight there? That's absolutely unbelievable. So we're up into 11th place now from 15th. Next up is Bernardi. Then I see our teammate Vierge just in front. Then it looks like it's Gerloff having a bit of contact with Scott Redding. So it must have been Baz that we passed as well as Van der Mark. Yes, it is. Baz in 13th place there. They're coming through turn 3. That's Alex Lowe's as well. I didn't even see him before. We passed Bernardi then, as I was talking about Alex Lowe's. Rinaldi's in there as well. So actually some of the top flight riders here battling. We're at the inside of our team at Vierge. We seem to be getting a little bit more confidence now. But I'm still a bit worried about this front brake because it's still pretty cold. Obviously I went with the high mass, but it doesn't seem to be getting the heat in it, which I guess is how the high mass works. But I was thinking I would actually use it enough to get the temperature in it, but so far not so much. But here we are then, round the outside of Michael Ruben Rinaldi, up to 8th place. On this last lap, we've made like 7 places up, whereas in the first 2 laps, we only probably made up that position total. So, yeah, we're definitely finding a bit of steam now. And it's not like we're using Power Mode 3 everywhere either. I've used it in a couple of places, but not many. I think it's because Scott Redding's holding this pack up a little bit here. You can see Gerloff and Lowe's both struggling to pass Scott Redding, because there's a bit of a gap in front of them now to the riders ahead. I think it's Axel Bassani in front of them. We're on the inside of Alex Lowe's. Can we get him? I think he's going to have the inside though now for turn 12. As we sweep around the outside, we've actually done Lowe's there. We've actually overtaken him. Gerloff overtakes Redding, pushes Redding a little bit wide. We might be able to capitalise on that. Not quite as we go to the penultimate turn. I thought about going to the inside of Redding there, but it just wasn't going to happen. We could try the Rossi move, but there's not really much point when we know we're going to absolutely blast them on the straight. Although Alex Lowe's did the Rossi move on us, so we've been Rossi'd, and Gerloff made a mistake there, which held up Redding a lot. And we're going to pass the 3 of them coming out of the corner. So now next up is Axel Bassani. That's a gap of 2.2 seconds. This is what happens when you get stuck in the lower reaches of the midfield. The leaders get away. We've just got to make sure now that I can try and push on and catch up to Bassani, but also some of my flowing lines, AI aren't going to take those. They're going to take more aggressive lines to try and pass, or well, they just take more aggressive lines anyway. So as I'm trying to flow through a corner, they might stick their nose at the inside, so I've got to take that into account. But through turn 5 there, they take the weirdest line. I mean, they go so defensive. I have no idea why. It makes no sense, because that's just not a fast way to take that turn. You want to sort of hit the apex in the middle, a bit of a late one, and sort of pick it up. You don't want to like be straight on the curb. I mean, that's how you fold the front in real life. I mean, it's a risky place to try and pass for that reason. The fact that it's so sort of downhill, it's difficult to take that tight line. Bit of a track limits warning there. It's a little bit of a weird one because it was on the sort of the old turn 10. I sort of put a back wheel on that as I change direction, so just got to be careful of that because it's quite easy to do that. So towards the line then, Top Rat does a new fastest lap 42.5. I do a 42.2, so we're a few tenths of a second quicker than the leaders. We've only got a few laps to catch them. And then obviously we've got to overtake them too. Bassani and Bautista are having a pretty good battle in front, but they're costing each other a lot of time. There's a bit of crash. It's none of the leaders ahead. It must be someone behind. Not sure who it is though. Bassani's past Bautista. So Bassani moves up onto the podium spots. Bautista down to 4th place. That's quite embarrassing for him on the Faccia Aruba bike. At his home race as well. But with that, we've virtually caught up to them. We were still about a second and a half behind when they really started scrapping, but all of that has brought me straight into the mix. So podium is certainly on the cards here, because we're only halfway through the race, and we're already up into 5th, and we're already on the back of the podium battle. And in fact, we might actually be able to pass Bautista down here, because look at our fastest lap, 41.6, so we're just finding pace every single lap. So here we go then, past Bautista, past Bassani as well. Am I going to get stopped into turn 1 though? That's the question. Just about. It's really difficult to pull the bikes down here, especially when you're pushing to try and make a pass on the brakes. We're up onto the podium then now. I think this does tell me that we probably can start sticking the AI up, at least at this track, because we've had really good pace. We're coming through from the back, and we're lapping about a second quicker than the leaders probably now, whereas it was only a couple of attempts earlier on in the race. So that is good progress, because I really couldn't get anywhere near these AI when the game first came out. So that is really nice to see. So we might be able to actually up the difficulty for the next career mode episode. Speaking of that, by the way, the reason why I've not done another one yet is just because I'm waiting for Marso to fix the game, because it's too weird to do the career mode episodes in the current state where the Super Pole race and race 1 just don't work. I have fixed the championship, so the championship standings are now based on what the real results would have been of that weekend, so it's not actually affected the championship, but just because it's so weird in the episode, I thought I'd just wait till they fix it to do the next one. I gotta say, the more I play this game, the more I like the physics. I mean, I know I've obviously compared it to GP21, and I didn't really like MotoGP21 that much, but it's a step up from MotoGP21, which is what we needed. Compared to 22, it's very nice to play, so I am really enjoying this, especially really pushing the bike here, trying to catch up. I've not really played the Honda too much either, but the Honda is a really sweet handling bike. And to be honest, if we keep at this pace, it looks like we have got the potential to win the race, which I didn't really expect coming into this. But now to catch these leaders at this rate, we've got a few laps left, but it looks like we're going to do it. And this is definitely a corner where they're losing a lot of time, because their entry speed is nice, but they lose a lot in the mid-corner, and then, well, I'd say seemingly on the exit, but Johnny still pulled away from me a bit there. But that's definitely where they're losing a bit of time. So at this track, at least, they seem a little bit weaker than they did at Aragon. At Aragon, they were extremely strong. So here we are then, 3 laps to go. We're in the slipstream of Jonathan Ray. This is how much time they just give up on the straight. I have no idea why they decided to balance the AI this way, because they just go so slow, but Ray's back on the inside. Okay, fair enough. Ray wants to fight. He doesn't want to lose to second place. You can see Toprak's up the road. He knows he can't beat Toprak, but he knows here that he can beat us if he is aggressive. So he's got to be the first rider that's actually gone back at me in the braking zone there. Usually I've sort of outclassed them into the braking zone, but Ray actually went past me there. We're back on the inside of him on the run to turn 4, and Ray again comes back up the inside. Well, I'll tell you what, if Marston have deliberately made Ray's AI attack you straight back and go aggressive, I've got to say fair enough, because that's exactly how Jonathan does ride when a faster rider's come past. He really tries to make sure that he stays in front of them. He also sometimes has a bit of contact. But this has costed us a lot of time. I don't think we're going to be able to beat Toprak now. Around the outside of Ray once again. I think this time we might have it, provided I don't make any mistakes. Because into turn 7, they do seem extremely weak. Which is a trope of Milestone AI into that corner. They do seem to struggle with it quite a lot. And we've struggled a bit through turn 9 though. So I said if no mistakes, Johnny won't re-overtake us. But Johnny might be able to get us down towards turn 10 on the brakes. For now, I think we've got it. So Toprak 1.7, 2 laps to catch him. This is going to be close. We're going to need 2 qualifying laps here. We've got the fuel to use it as well. We've got plus 6 laps fuel left, so we can go power 3 for the last couple of laps. We just have to hope that Ray doesn't attack, because if Ray attacks, we're in trouble. Honestly, I do feel like if they weren't rolling so much on the straight, we'd actually be about even here, because I'm not gaining excessive amounts in the corners. It is mostly on the straights. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am gaining on them in some of the corners. So I think we actually would be very close in terms of pace if it wasn't for the straight line thing. But they just lose so much time, especially into here as well. I mean, I know this is a corner, but they also do this, which doesn't help them. Because we've gone from 1.7 to 0.4 behind. I mean, look, we're 6/10 underneath our personal best lap of the race. So I think this definitely tells me I definitely can turn up the AI now, which is nice to see, considering how much I struggled against them previously. I couldn't even get anywhere near them within like a second of their lap times. But we now do seem to be finding a little bit of comfort, especially at this circuit on this bike anyway. So there we are then. Now we're going to pass Toprak down towards turn 10. Here we go, flying past Toprak Razkatioglu. On the brakes into turn 10. Is he going to attack us back like Johnny Ray did? Oh, he's hit us at the back. He's not attacked us back, he's hit us. But I think that's affected him as much as it's affected me, because it's not allowed him to get back up the inside and into turn 12. And he's bashed us again. These AI not wanting to give up whatsoever. This is what I mean. They're actually pretty good. I mean, we're still underneath the personal best lap time, even with all this contact. Only just, though. We're now back behind it again. We've got 2 seconds to Ray. 1 more lap. But I think we are going to probably get Toprak here on this straight quite convincingly, because this is where they're losing so much time to us. So here we are then in the slipstream of Toprak. It's not even going to be a competition. We might even get him before the line. I think we actually did there. And I think that was still the new fastest lap of the race, very slightly with that bit of slipstream. So this final lap then, can we defend from Toprak? Because we know he is super, super aggressive, just like Ray was. So here we are then, through the final turn. Coming up towards the line, we've completed the last of first challenge here as Iker Lecuona. Well, there you go then, best lap of a 41.4, which is a second quicker than Toprak, and there's definitely time to find on the table with that as well, because that was the lap that we set where Toprak rammed us about 3 times, and we were about 7/10 under the time before that, so there definitely is a little bit more time on the table there, but I really enjoyed that. That's probably the most fun I've had with the AI so far, to be completely honest. Now, of course, you did see again, there was the same odd issue with them going slow on the straights. That does seem to be just an issue regardless. I've heard people complain about that regardless of the difficulty level they use, so that is a bit of a shame. But fortunately, I can actually up it for once. Usually I can't up it. Usually I run 120 on all the games, but 120 seemed a bit too quick for me initially, but it seems like we can at least up it to probably 110 now with that that kind of performance from our last of first. But I really enjoyed that. The AI definitely put up a fight. I mean, Ray and Razkatioglu at least anyway. I mean, Ray and Toprak, they both went back at us. I mean, Ray's was very realistic. The way he sort of let off the brake and dived underneath us was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was a fun little battle there. But I hope you guys did enjoy that one. Let me know what SBK22 content you want to see, because I'm just really enjoying playing this game right now. Obviously, about career mode, I did mention that in the video. I'm kind of waiting until Milestone fix the career mode before I actually go on with that, because it's just too weird, and I don't want it to dominate all the episodes that the races are bizarre. I want them to actually be good races, and now it also gives me time to get a little bit better. As you can see, I've improved by a decent amount, because I actually managed to go from sort of last to first in a race where that was not going to happen previously. Obviously, the bike does play a factor in career mode, but I think I could probably step up the AI a little bit with a bit more practice as well, so hopefully the races should be a bit more entertaining as well if I have a bit more time to improve. But like I said, do let me know what you want to see, and I hope you did enjoy that video. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you all stay safe, and I shall see you in the next one.